CIET NCERT presents audiobook Kaushal Bodh, textbook of vocational education for grade 7.
Page 138, Project 6, Family Health Handbook. There's a QR code given on the right-hand side top of this page. You can scan this QR code for related information on this project. This project will help you learn about maintaining the health and well-being of your family. You will create a family health handbook and identify actions to improve the health of your family. As part of the project, you will be able to identify factors impacting health, visit a center and interact with health professionals, create a first aid kit, record and analyze health-related data, develop a plan to improve family health. Figure 6.1. Maintaining health and well-being is essential for all of us. There is a picture given in this figure where a boy is sitting and holding a thermometer. There are some posters at the back which says Yoga for Life and Good Food. He has a first aid kit on his table. Page 139. Family health refers to the overall physical, mental, and emotional well-being of all members within a family. The health of individuals and the family as a whole are interconnected with each other. Good health results from many factors, including diet, physical fitness, sleep, mental well-being, and environmental factors. Figure 6.1. While all these factors are important for people of different ages, the needs of people from various age groups are different. This project is about understanding the needs of different members of the family and creating a family health handbook. You have learned about the importance of health both in school and from family and friends. You are also aware that good health, a positive attitude, and mental well-being are very important for your happiness. You may have been practicing yoga and found that it helps you not only to be physically fit, but also to be calm and energized throughout the day. You become more flexible and stronger while being able to concentrate on whatever you are doing. You have also learned that a nutritious and well-balanced diet is necessary to meet the body's needs. Different components of food are necessary to fulfill different needs of the body and give us energy to work and play. In addition to this, rest is very important. Our body repairs itself when we sleep, and we wake up refreshed and ready for another day. Depending on age, sleeping for a certain number of hours daily is therefore very important for health. Positive attitude and mental well-being are equally important. A well-balanced diet, regular exercise, personal hygiene, positive thoughts, and kindness are important for mental well-being. Along with these, it is important to do things you enjoy and to spend time with loved ones. Still, despite all these efforts, people fall ill due to various reasons, including environmental factors. Therefore, you need to take care to protect yourself and your family. For example, timely vaccination, taking precautions to prevent spread of infections, keeping the surroundings clean, and ensuring there is no stagnant water where mosquitoes can breed. Page number 140. Knowing whom to ask for help and when to see the doctor is also important. Thus, essential factors for assuring health are well-balanced and nutritious diet, physical fitness, sleep, positive attitude, and mental well-being, and environmental factors. In this project, you will learn more about these factors and what can be done to maintain your health and that of your family. You will develop and maintain records and write your action plan in the Family Health Handbook. What will I be able to do? By the end of this project, you will be able to 1. Identify the specific needs of individuals of different age groups. 2. Respond to any health issue in the family. 3. Create a first aid kit for use in school and at home. 4. Develop a plan to support good health and well-being in the family. What will I need? 1. Notebook or sheets and binder for the handbook and stationery. 2. First aid materials, small bandages, cotton balls or swabs, medical tape, hand sanitizer or disinfectant, masks and gloves, antiseptic ointments, basic medicines as per advice of doctor, salt, sugar, ORS, thermometer, tweezers, scissors, safety pins, and others as per the advice of the expert. How do I keep myself and others safe? 1. You must follow all safety instructions and use tools and equipment as directed. Page 141. 2. During visits to the hospital or primary health center, PHC, community health center, CHC, maintain your distance and wear a mask to protect yourself and the patients. Remember to wash your hands thoroughly after the visit. 3. Dispose of used gloves, masks, and bandages as directed by the expert and or your teacher to prevent the spread of infection. 4. Be sensitive and empathetic to the injured, young children and the old. 5. Accept diversity. Do not judge people by body shapes, sizes, or food habits. Internet safety. Ask your teacher for help while using the internet. Be careful not to upload or download anything without checking. Do not share personal information anywhere. What do I need to know before I start? You know some of the common factors affecting health. Discuss the factors affecting health with others in your group, your parents and teachers. Activity 1. Factors affecting health. Some factors that affect our health are given below. Please give examples of how they impact us. Add any factors that you feel are important. 1. Lack of personal hygiene. Blank space for your response. 2. Pollution. Example, noise, air, soil, water. Blank space for your response. 3. Unclean environment. Blank space for your response. 4. lack of nutritious and balanced diet. Blank space for your response. 5. Loneliness. Blank space for your response. 6. Lack of sleep. Blank space for your response. 7. Lack of exercise. Blank space for your response. 8. Excessive use of TV or mobile phone. Blank space for your response. 9. Any other factors you can think of. Blank space for your response. Page 142. Which factors can you do something about and which are out of your control? Blank space for your response. Did you know? These are some recommendations by health experts. Diet and nutrition. 1. Meal frequency. Eating 3 main meals and 1 to 2 healthy snacks at consistent intervals prevents overeating or dips in energy. 2. Hydration. Drinking at least 6 to 8 glasses of water daily is essential for digestion, temperature regulation, and mental focus. 3. Eat home-cooked food and limit eating processed food. Even a simple meal like dal fry and rice ordered from outside may not be healthy since you are unsure of the amount of oil added or whether the dal is freshly cooked or stale. Therefore, limiting food ordered from outside, processed snacks, example chips, sugary drinks, and fried foods is good for health. Sleep pattern. 1. Sleep duration varies by age. Ideally, about 9 to 11 hours of sleep is ideal for students aged 6 to 13, while about 8 to 9 hours of sleep is sufficient for adults. Children below the age of 5 require more than 11 hours of sleep. 2. Healthy body functioning is also determined by a regular sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same time daily, this helps regulate the body's internal clock. 3. Disruptions like noise, bright lights, or uncomfortable bedding can affect sleep patterns. 4. To go to sleep easily, avoid stimulating activities like screen time, loud music, or heavy meals an hour before sleep. Physical fitness. 1. Lack of physical activity and a sedentary lifestyle can have a very harmful effect on body functions in the long run. 2. Consistency is key, so you should choose a physical activity that you like. It can be yoga, sports, or a simple walk. Page 143. Mental well-being. Just as our physical well-being can be affected by many factors, our mental well-being is also prone to being affected. For example, due to a fight with a friend, examination stress, concerns about family, or any other reason. Mental and physical well-being are interconnected, and both are equally important. Spending time with friends and family, and on productive activities, including games and sports, helps maintain mental well-being. What do I have to do? You have identified factors that affect health and may have noted some questions. As you continue to work on your project, you will try and find answers to these questions. You will understand the needs of persons of different age groups and identify environmental factors around you that may affect health. You will also learn how to provide first aid and how to avail medical care. Finally, you will come up with an action plan to improve and maintain your and your family's health. All this will be part of your Family Health Handbook. You can learn more about family health and first aid techniques by searching on the internet. You can search using keywords like family health, basic first aid and steps, tips for family health and wellness, first aid for common injuries, etc. Activity 2. Framing questions related to your and your family's health. Think about your and your family members' health. What questions come to your mind? Write these questions or even any relevant thoughts in your handbook. Some examples are given on the next page. Add to these sample questions. Do remember to leave space for answers. Page 144. 1. My younger sister is 4 years old. Why does she catch a cold so often? 2. What can I do if someone at home gets a fever? 3. My parents often say, don't watch TV before sleeping. Why is that so? 4. Why does my grandmother refuse to eat? Point 5, 6, 7, 8 are left blank for your responses. The answers to some of these questions may be available with family members, other community members, and teachers. But you may have to speak to experts like doctors, nurses, accredited social health activists, ASHA workers, and Anganwadi teachers or workers to get answers to others. You may also be able to answer some of these questions yourself as you take up the different activities in the project. Activity 3. Visit to a hospital or primary health center, PHC, or community health center, CHC. Visiting a hospital or PHC or CHC will help you develop a deeper understanding of health-related factors. You will be able to observe a day in the life of a health expert. Observe them, how they treat a patient, what equipment they use, and how the comfort of patients is taken care of. Figure 6.2. Interaction with healthcare professionals. In this picture, there are 2 students who are interacting with one doctor. One hospital attendant is also standing there. Request the experts to meet to demonstrate the use of the first aid kit and to help you put together a list of materials and medicines to keep in the kit. Page 145. Also, gather helpful information that could help you in the future. Example, emergency numbers, number for ambulance. In addition to the questions you have already identified, examples of specific questions to ask the doctors and nurses you meet are given. Add other questions that come to your mind. Remember, even if some other questions come up during the project, you can request permission from the experts to connect with them later. A box is given with some basic information that you need to collect from the hospital. Date and time of visit, location, type of center, that is, hospital or CHC or PHC or other. Name of center. Name of experts you interacted with. Emergency contacts. Emergency contact number. Phone number for ambulance. National emergency number. Police, ambulance, fire. 112. National number for ambulance. 108. Any other observations? For your health handbook, write down the following information after you visit the hospital. There are some questions given and blank space for you to write your responses. 1. What are the different facilities available in your center? Blank space. 2. What services are provided to patients? Example, vaccination, outpatient treatment, diagnosis, in-hospital treatment, and specialized treatments. Blank space. 3. What are the most common illnesses in your area? How can we prevent them? Blank space. Page number 146. 4. What should we do in an emergency? What should we do if an accident happens? Blank space. 5. What are the fees charged to the patient? How is billing done? How is the payment to be done? Are there any concessions given? Example, for senior citizens and military personnel. Blank space. 6. How do we decide if someone needs medical help or we can manage at home? Blank space. 7. What should we do if someone falls sick during the night or on a holiday? Blank space. 8. What precautions are to be taken while taking medicines? Blank space. Activity 4. Creating a first aid kit. Once you have observed and understood the use of the first aid kit at the center, you can create it on your own in school. In our daily lives, we often experience minor cuts, accidents, wounds, and minor illness. A first aid kit can provide medical assistance. It is equipped with basic medicines for emergencies. You should also have a first aid kit at home as a part of your safety readiness plan. The first aid activities you could focus on are 1. Tying bandages for minor cuts. Figure 6.3. 2. First aid for minor burns. Figure 6.4. 3. Preparing ORS during dehydration. Figure 6.5. Remember, first aid is only emergency treatment before you take the patient to the doctor. Page 147. You can organize a workshop in school to create a first aid kit. The workshop must be conducted by an expert who could either be a health professional or a teacher or parent. Figure 6.3. First aid for minor wounds. A. Clean the wounded area. B. Place gauze over the wound. C. Tie bandage around the wound. 3 pictures are given with each step on how to do it correctly. Figure 6.4. First aid for burn. A. Wash under running tap water. B. apply ointment. C. Cover with loose bandage, ensuring no pressure on burn. 3 different pictures are shared with each step for your better understanding. Figure 6.5. Preparing an ORS solution. A. Take 1 liter of water. B. Add half teaspoon of salt. C. Add 8 teaspoons of sugar. D. Stir well. 4 different pictures with each step is given for your better understanding. Creating a first aid kit workshop. This format will help you organize the workshop. There's a format given on how to organize the workshop with points, and your response will be filled in the blank spaces provided next to it. First point, duration of the workshop, blank space. Second point, participants, blank space. Third point, facilitator. Expert can be anyone with an understanding of first aid, blank space. Materials required, blank space. Page number 148. Content of the workshop. 1. Discussion on the importance of a first aid kit to treat basic ailments. 2. Exploring components of the first aid kit. Decide the contents that can be incorporated into the school first aid kit. Brainstorm on possible injuries and health issues which might occur on school premises and what components will be required. 3. Organizing and labeling the components of the first aid kit. 4. Making the first aid kit. The components you have selected must be placed in a wide metal container or a small bag with pockets. You may make separators using cardboard or place the components in smaller boxes or bags to ensure you can find them easily, if needed. The box or bag must have the label First Aid Kit. 5. Demonstration and practice of use. Make notes while experts demonstrate basic procedures such as applying bandages for cuts, treating minor burns, dehydration, fever, etc. 6. Deciding where to place the first aid kit. The first aid kit should be kept in an easily accessible place on the school premises, but out of reach of the younger students. Figure 6.6 shows the components of the first aid kit. What else do you think could be required? While emergencies can happen despite our best efforts, some illnesses can be avoided by taking what is called preventive action. This means that care must be taken to ensure nutrition and diet, sleep, physical fitness, mental well-being, and environment so that people stay as healthy as possible. To do this, you must understand the needs of people at different ages. Figure 6.6. Components of the first aid kit. In this figure, a lot of medicines and equipments are given to be kept in the first aid box, like safety pin, thermometer, some ointments, ORS, scissors, etc. Page 149. Activity 5. Factors affecting health at different ages. People have different needs at different ages. You may have noticed that babies eat and sleep a lot, and elderly people like to rest in the afternoon. To identify specific needs of your family members, you must understand the factors affecting health at different ages. Each family is different. Example: some families have parents and one or more children. Some are joint families with many generations living in the same house. Some are only made up of one parent and a child. Many variations are possible. However, most of us will have people of all ages in our extended families or family friends of different ages. With this in mind, collect and document basic health data and some observations related to daily routine for the following age groups. 1. Below 5 years. 2. 6 to 18 years. 3. 19 to 30 years. 4. 31 to 45 years. 5. 46 to 60 years. 6. Above 60 years. Even if you do not have a family member from any of these age groups, you can collect information from a relative or neighbor or friend. You can make separate sections for every age group using 3 to 4 sheets, or as required, for each member in your handbook. Few examples of questions you can ask are given in Table 6.1. Add to these questions as per your need. All questions may not be relevant for particular persons. You may skip those. For children in the age group under 5 years, fill the information after speaking to their parents. Table 6.1. Tabulation of basic health data. This table is divided into 2 sections. First section have 4 rows. The title of each row has name, relation with the student, gender, and age. Page 150. In the second section, we have 3 columns: category, questions, and responses. The first part of this section is diet and nutrition category. Questions that students can ask: how many meals do you eat in a day? How often do you eat fruits and vegetables? Do you include lentils and grains in your food? Do you include dairy products or meat in your food? How often do you eat junk food? Example: chips, and have sugary or soft drinks. What is the daily intake of water? Approximate amount in glasses. To these questions, responses could be 1 or 2 or 3 or more, daily or 3 to 4 times in a day, week or 0 to 2 times in a week, yes or no, yes or no, daily or weekly or rarely. For the next question, blank space is given for your response. Next category is physical fitness. Questions that students can ask are: do you engage in any physical activity or exercise? If yes, what type of exercise do you do? Example: walking, yoga, sports. How many days a week do you exercise? Responses to these questions could be yes or no. For second and third question, blank space is provided for you to write your own response. Next category is sleep pattern. The questions that students can ask are: How many hours of sleep on an average do you get daily? What time do you usually go to bed and wake up? Do you take naps during the day? If yes, for how long? Do you use electronic devices, TV, phone, computer, before sleeping? If yes, how long before bedtime? Is your sleeping area quiet and comfortable? Blank space is given with each question for your response. Page 151. Next category is mental well-being. Questions the students can ask are: how often do you feel stressed or anxious? What do you do to relax? Example: talk to someone, listen to music, exercise, hobbies. Do you have hobbies or activities that you enjoy? If yes, please mention. Do you ask your family and friends for help? How often do you take time to relax or meditate? Some responses are given and some blank space is given for your personal response. First response: always or sometimes or never. Second, blank space. Third, blank space. Fourth, always or sometimes or rarely. Fifth, daily or occasionally or never. Two more questions are given with blank space in this table. Any special needs related to health? Example: vaccination requirements, any condition that requires regular medication, any special advice from the doctor. Blank space. Any other relevant information? Blank space. These questions were related to diet and nutrition, physical fitness, sleep, and mental well-being. However, environmental factors also play an important role related to health and mental well-being. Observe the environment around you and respond to the questions in Table 6.2. In this table, there are 3 columns and 7 rows. The first column has the heading of Environment. There are 7 different questions in 7 rows in the second column. First, is there an open drain in the area around your home? Are there places where water gets clogged? Blank space provided for your response in column 3. Is there any place with stagnant water with potential for becoming a breeding ground for mosquitoes? Blank space given in column 3. Page 152. Is there timely garbage collection near your home? Blank space given in column 3. What is the condition of any river or other water body in your neighborhood? Blank space in column 3. Is there a plastic or industry waste dump nearby? Blank space given in column 3. What is the quality of air in your home? Pollution or smoke or exhaust of industry, etc. Blank space given in column 3. Is there a source of noise pollution near your home? Blank space in column 3. Using tablet or smartphone to collect data on pollution. Noise is measured in decibels, dB. Sound above 85 decibels is considered harmful for humans. You can measure noise pollution using apps on a tablet or smartphone. Search with the keywords noise measuring app. You can also find the Air Quality Index AQI at your geotag location on the Mausam website of the Environmental Monitoring Service managed by the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD. Now you have data from the survey of family members as well as your observations of your environment. Analyzing this data will help you develop an action plan for improving and maintaining your and your family's health. Did you know? Testing quality of potable water. Clean drinking water is essential for good health. Contaminated water can lead to diseases like diarrhea, cholera, typhoid, and other long-term health problems. Testing the quality of water helps to ensure that it is safe to drink. This can protect your family from harmful illnesses. Page 153. It is very easy to test if water is potable. The H2S strip kit is a simple method used to check for bacterial contamination in water. Using H2S strip test kit. 1. Pour the water sample into the bottle up to the given mark, 20 ml. 2. Cap the bottle and mix well. The color of the water will change to golden brown. 3. Keep this bottle at room temperature, about 25 to 35 degrees Celsius. In case of low temperatures, the bottle should be wrapped in a warm cloth and kept in a warm place. 4. Do not disturb the bottle for 24 to 28 hours. 5. Now observe the color of the sample. Figure 6.7. Interpreting test. 1. If the color does not change and remains golden brown, water is safe for drinking. 2. If the color turns black, water is contaminated with harmful bacteria and is not safe for drinking. Figure 6.7. H2S test. In this figure, 3 pictures of bottles with water and H2S strip is given. 48 hours. In the first bottle, there is clear water with H2S strip. Second picture, safe to use. In this bottle has water turned yellow color with H2S strip. The third bottle, unsafe to use, has water turned black with H2S strip. There is a box given with some pointers and blank space for you to write your response. Source of water sample dash. Date of testing dash. Date of results 24 to 48 hours after testing dash. Color of water in the bottle dash. Water is safe for drinking, yes or no. If you find water is not safe for drinking, inform those using this water about potential danger. Example, you can paint a poster and put it near the water source. Discuss the results with your teacher and elder members of the family and learn how to clean water before drinking. Page 154. Activity 6. Analyzing data from the survey of family members. Analyze the data you have from each family member for each factor. This will help you to get an idea of what their needs are. You can fill the table 6.3 based on this analysis. Table 6.3. Family member health data. This table talks about healthy analysis summary. This is divided into two main parts: name and age. After that, there are 4 columns and 5 rows for you to write your answers. First column has the heading of factor. Second column has the heading of is there anything that is a cause of concern. Third column has a heading of who can address this issue. Fourth column has a heading of who is responsible for taking action: society, self, doctor, family members, others. The first column of first row has a heading of diet and nutrition. Blank space is provided next to it for your responses. The first column and second row has a heading of physical fitness. Blank space is provided next to it for your response. The heading of first column, third row is sleep pattern. Blank space is provided for your responses. First column has the heading of mental well-being. Blank space is provided for your responses. First column and fifth row has the heading of environment. Blank space is provided next to it for your responses. When you do the analysis, keep in mind the specific needs of elders. Example, lack of sleep due to noise pollution, babies, example, special type of food preparation, and of persons with disabilities, Divyang. Activity 7. Making a plan to improve your and family's health. You noted the absence and presence of certain things in the environment. Identify what actions are needed to be taken and who needs to take the action. For example, what can you do to eliminate mosquitoes in surrounding areas? Will you start a cleanliness drive or take support from elders to raise the issue to the relevant municipal authority? Page 155. Fill Table 6.4 based on your analysis. Table 6.4. Preventive Healthcare Action. In this, 5 columns are given with 3 rows kept blank for your responses. The first column has serial number. Second column has which observations cause you concern. Third column has who is responsible for ensuring that the matter is taken care of. Fourth column has how will you inform them. Fifth column has is there something you can do? If yes, then what is it? Taking action. Making a soak pit. Soak pit. Stagnant water is a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Therefore, soak pits are made to soak excess water around the kitchen or washing areas. A soak pit must be made at least 5 meters away from borewell or well or other water source, and also 5 meters away from buildings. Figure 6.8. Students making a soak pit. There are 6 students in this picture who are trying to make a soak pit. Follow the following steps to make soak pit. Figure 6.9. 1. Dig a 1 meter into 1 meter into 1 meter pit where excess water is to be released. 2. Make 20 centimeter alternating layers of sand and brick, respectively. 3. Next, create a 10 centimeter thick layer of sand on top of the layers. 4. Make an arrangement to carry the excess water to the soak pit. Figure 6.9. In this figure, a picture is given which shows a soak pit that is connected with pipe, cross-sectional view. You can also place an old drum in the pit, make holes in it and make the layers inside the drum as instructed above. Figure 6.9. This soak pit will prevent stagnant water and therefore breeding of mosquitoes. Page 156. Discuss the analysis of data amongst your group. On the basis of this discussion, write down the most important action that your class will take to prevent ill health due to environmental factors in and around the school. Blank space is given for your response. Activity 8. Preventing action related to environmental. Prevention is always better than cure. So, based on the activities so far, what kind of action would you take related to each factor in order to maintain health? Think of the key actions you will implement with your family. 1. Nutrient-rich diet. Example, home-cooked food, avoid junk food like chips and packaged snacks. A, B, C has blank space for your response. 2. Sleep. Example, sleeping at the same time, avoiding electronic devices before sleep. A, B, C. Space is provided for your response. 3. Physical fitness. Example, doing yoga with friends and family. A, B, C. Space is provided for your response. 4. Mental well-being. For example, eating together at night, playing games with family and friends. A, B, C. Space is provided for you to write your response. Page 157. 5. Environment. Example, using mosquito nets, disposing waste. A, B, C. Blank space provided for your response. 6. Any special needs to be met. A, B, C. Blank space provided for your response. Did you know? Malaria is one of the major health problems in our country. It is caused by the bite of an infected female Anopheles mosquito. However, there is a simple solution to preventing malaria. Using mosquito nets reduces the cases of malaria by preventing mosquito bites. Consistently practicing the identified actions will help you see results. Identify 5 key actions you will take. Track them monthly using the template given in the table 6.5. Table 6.5. Tracker of actions taken for healthy life. In this table, you can write the action tracker month. There are 5 columns in this table with 6 rows kept blank for your response. First column has the heading of date and key actions. The second column has a heading of go to bed at 9:30 p.m. Third column has a heading of eat dinner together. Fourth column has a heading of practice yoga. Page 158. Our ancestors were deeply aware of the importance of health. A shlok from the Brihadaryanak Upanishad says, Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasche Dukha Bhag Bhavet. This translates to: may all sentient beings at peace, may no one suffer from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one suffer. Use your family health handbook wisely to keep yourself and your family safe. What did I learn from others? There are some questions in this section, and blank space is provided for you to write your responses. 1. According to you, what were the two most important things you learned during the visit to the health center and from interaction with health professionals? Blank space. 2. Often we are well aware of what we have to do, and yet we do not practice it. For example, we all know exercise is important, but we often skip it. What do you think is the reason for this? What can be done to change this? Blank space. What did I do and how long did it take? It is important to understand how much time is required for an activity to be completed. Calculate the approximate amount of time in hours you spent on each activity. Mark them on the timeline on the following page. Page 159. If you did more than the activity suggested in the book, please add the number and time taken. There's a pattern for timeline given, which is divided into two sections: activity, starting from the 1st to 8th. Then, the next section is time taken, periods. It has blank space for your personal responses. What else can I do? 1. A lot of waste is produced related to health needs. For example, baby diapers, diapers for the elderly, medicines that have expired or not been used, and so on. Have you ever thought about how this waste is disposed? Find out and write a plan to dispose of similar waste at your home and school. 2. Draw up a plan for vaccination of children of different ages in your community with the help of local health professionals. Participate in a polio vaccine campaign. 3. Explore the telemedicine facility of the online portal eSanjeevani managed by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Figure 6.10. Find out how it can be used to consult a doctor. Figure 6.10. eSanjeevani portal managed by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. There's a screenshot of a laptop screen given in this figure. It helps students to understand how to manage eSanjeevani portal, which is managed by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Page 160. Think and answer. 1. What did you enjoy doing? 2. What were the challenges you faced? 3. What will you do differently next time? 4. According to you, how does drinking water get polluted and how will you ensure it is safe for drinking? 5. Identify few examples of jobs related to the work you just did. For example, doctor, nurse, Asha worker, Anganwadi worker, counselor. Can you think of any other kind of work related to health? Look around, speak to people, and write your answer. Chapter 6 ends here.
Kaushal Bodh, you are just listening to this audiobook. Textbook of Vocational Education for Grade 7. Narration Himani Joshi. Sound Recordist Virendra Rawat. Assistance in Production Arshad Ahmed. Directed and produced by Vimalesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.